I want to welcome everybody back to the Red Zone of Action podcast. I'm your host, Scott Wilson. Today I'm just going to sit down and go over some things, what I'm looking at this morning as I wake up and read today's headlines and see what's going on the internet with the NFL today with the Combine and free agency coming up. So we're going to look on here and see what we run into. What is on today's docket? Let's go look and see. Got the NFL Combine going on currently. Free agency starts in 3 days. I try to stay on NFL.com for most of my first day information.
I'm just sick of trying to make you feel good. We're going to tell you the truth. Okay.
ESPN's so diluted.
We're not going to be politically correct anymore. Rich, you got out of there way too high. I like the facial expressions, but you just rehearsed.
Looks like Rich Eisen ran his 40. Cracked his best time ever. 5.94. As much as I love to watch it, I'm not going to watch it right now. Vikings linebacker Chad Greenway set to retire. What? That is crazy. Bucks signed Golston, 5-year deal. They re-upped him. That's good. Chiefs GM Dorsey says this draft's quarterbacks aren't ready to play. Yeah. I don't know. I just think Deshaun Watson, a big fan. I think he's going to be special in the NFL if he gets to the right team, gets the right coaching. I think people forget that's a lot of what goes on is these players, they get drafted and they just they end up on these teams, and if the coaching staff is not up to par and at least halfway decent, you've got no shot when you get drafted. Quarterback especially, I mean, it's the most important position on the field. If you don't have Philadelphia is a perfect example. I mean, skeptical. I'm an Eagles fan. We draft Carson Wentz last year. He comes in, he's got Doug Peterson. He's set up around all these quarterback coaches that once played quarterback in the NFL. And I felt like he was in a good position, but they're not Joe Montanas, they're not Dan Marinos, they're Doug Petersons. They were lifetime backups. I mean, Doug Peterson was a starter in Philadelphia when McNabb was, drafted. But, he followed Favre. He followed great people and had great coaches. But he was a journeyman. So, I mean, you get what you're going to get. But I do like Carson Wentz. I do think Carson Wentz is going to be, he's going to be special. So, but again, I'm biased because I'm an Eagles fan. So, say what you want. Alright, let's see what else we got here. Julius Peppers plans to play his 16th season. Whew. A lot of teams have a lot of money for free agency. I can't wait to see what happens there. We do not. The Eagles are not in good cap shape. Thank you, Chip Kelly. You really kicked us in the butt on the way out. Myles Garrett's going to be special. But then again, so is Jonathan Allen. Alright, let's hop over to ESPN and see what kind of football talk they got going on. You're going to tell me that Alshon Jeffrey should go to the Cowboys because you're a bunch of Cowboy homers. You all love the Dallas Cowboys. And the Dallas Cowboys suck. 2 wins. They got two playoff wins in 21 years. That's what it is. I don't have to look that up because I know that's fact. You Google it. A lot of stuff going on with Alabama players at the NFL Combine. Reuben Foster was sent home for apparently arguing with a doctor. Not sure what that was about. Did not read the whole thing. We've never had an issue with him. I mean, he played all 4 years at Alabama. Never any issues. So I'm not quite sure what that was about. And some of the Alabama players have been quoted as saying that nothing happened. He didn't do anything. So take that for what it's worth. And then Williams reportedly at the combine admitted to failing multiple drug tests while he was at Alabama. I just feel like, I don't know, is there some kind of sabotage going on with Bama players at the combine? I mean, never had any issues with any of these players the entire 4 years there at Bama. And, I mean, 15 minutes at the combine and all these stories are coming out. I don't know, it just seems a little, I mean, let's face it, after everything that's going on in the media over the last couple of years, especially here lately in the last year, what reporters are left, what journalists are left with any integrity? I'm throwing that out there right now. Just let me know. Leave those names down below, because I'd really like to know. Free agency is on the move. Let me know what your team is and what you guys are wanting your teams to get doing free agency as far as what players to bring in and things like that. I'd like to see Philly. I'd like to see Deshaun Jackson come home first and foremost. I think that should be number one. And then I'd like to also inquire another receiver. I don't want to stop at Deshaun Jackson, because he's going to be phenomenal at taking the top ball defense like he always has been. But he's older, and we're going to need another receiver. None of our receivers are worth the flop in Philadelphia right now. I mean, I don't have confidence in any of them. I heard a rumor last night that the Eagles are now shopping Jordan Matthews. Now, I like Jordan Matthews coming in, but the last year or two, he's really stunk it up. I mean, he's the best of what we have, but what we have is not good. I don't think it's just like, it reminds me of the McNabb days early on. No disrespect to Pinkston and Thrash. I mean, they got it done. Well, I mean, they did what they could. I don't say they got it done. They didn't win a Super Bowl, but they were what he had and made the best of it. I don't want to see Wentz struggle like McNabb did like that. He didn't have anybody to throw the ball to until we brought T.O. in. And I don't want to see that with Wentz. Let's not do that this time. And I know that Peterson is just is a Reed clone, so I worry about. These are things I worry about in Philadelphia. You're going to get this a lot from me. A lot of Eagles and a lot of Bama. So get ready. The Saints are shopping Brandon Cooks. I don't think they're gonna let him go. They're wanting a first round, and Brandon Cooks isn't worth first round pick. It's just not. He hasn't put up those kind of numbers, and I know that's the problem. That's why they want to dump him. He wants He wants that kind of money. He just has not. He has not done it. He's a number two. He is a number two. Number two. You're not going to get a first round draft pick for him. If the Eagles give up a first round draft pick for Brandon Cooks, I'm going to lose my mind, because I'd really like to get Ross from Washington. That's who I want. That wide receiver, that guy is fast. Did you see his 40 time? OMG. Ridiculous. I really like that Jonathan Allen gave. They were kind of being hard on Deshaun Watson, quarterback from Clemson, at the combine, and Jonathan Allen really stepped in, and made some good comments about him. I like the quote he made. He said, a lot of quarterbacks Bama played this year, they weren't the same quarterback in the fourth quarter as they were in the first. They changed their progression and weakened as the game went on. He said Deshaun Watson never changed. Deshaun Watson was the same quarterback in the fourth quarter as he was in the first play of the game. So, Jonathan Allen's a class act. Make sure you hop over to the RedZoneFaction.com and check us out there. That website's been open now for quite some time. I edit it quite often, usually on it every day, doing something. That is the podcast / fantasy football site that's kind of a 2-in-1 deal, and then you can hop over to biggr81.wixsite.com for the Lost Tribe of Alabama. I'll put the links down in the description so you can click on those if you'd like to go and check those out. That is strictly league. I don't do much podcast stuff on that, even though there are YouTube links and things like that to get over to the other, so you can watch. But that is really, in all honesty, that is just a fantasy football site for that league. And of course, there's the Red Zone Faction Facebook page. We also have a Twitter. It is at The Real Faction. Let's see, Ian Rappaport says wide receiver John Ross will stand on his 4.22 40 time from the combine and just run routes at Washington's Pro Day. Shoulder surgery still on March 14th. Ian Rappaport reports that linebacker Chad Greenway will officially announce his retirement after 11 seasons. Wow, I didn't realize he was in the NFL 11 years. Has it been 11 years since Greenway got drafted? Wow. I'm old. I remember when he got drafted. Tony Romo, where's he going to go? I believe it'll be Denver or Houston. Wild card, maybe Kansas City, but I don't know if they'll make a quarterback change in there. And KC right now, I just don't know about that. But and if Houston takes him, what about all that money they just gave Osweiler? So I don't know what they're going to do. Denver is probably going to be the landing spot, but I think Houston is a very good. I think if I were Romo, I'd rather go to Houston. All right, this one says Titans, not the Eagles, now the favorites to land in Brandon Cooks. That makes me happy, as I didn't want him. I think the combine is kind of ridiculous in a lot of sense. I just think it's just I understand the measurements of their bodies and their whatever, but doing a lot of these drills I watch, and I just kind of smirk. I mean, I don't know. I'm not an NFL scout, but I think a lot of these drills are just irrelevant. They're not in uniform. Put pads on them and have them run all these same drills. Then that would make sense to me. Oh, and by the way, have somebody chase them for their life. I just feel like none of these things make any sense. It does, just because you can do it here doesn't mean anything. You're not fully in pads. You're not doing anything. I don't know. Maybe I'm off, but that's just my 2 cents, I guess. It's free. There it is. This was a tweet from yesterday. Report: Eagles open to trading Jordan Matthews. Again, big fan of him coming out. Vanderbilt. I was really big on him, but since then he's gotten brick hands all of a sudden and can't catch a pass to save his life. So it's not just him; it's all of them. But and I like him. I do. It's just I'm over it. I'm just really over the whole thing. Bring in a whole new set of receivers and let's go. What's going on here? But I think Brandon Cooks' issue is Mike Thomas. Thomas has turned into a hell of a receiver. I had both of them on one of my fantasy teams last year, so I was kind of ripping the benefits of that. But I'll tell you what, there was days where neither one of them did anything. So, but when Drew Brees is your quarterback, you got to be ready to go. He's still one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's aging, but he's still Drew Brees. Everybody knows I give Saints fans hell. I don't disrespect Brees. Never have. Brees is the man. Much respect to him. It's the Saints fans that give hell, not the Saints players. If anybody's ever realized that, think about what I've ever said. I don't trash Saints players. I trash Saints fans. and I will continue to do so. Alright, well, I guess that's going to be it for this morning. I just wanted to come on and look over the news and notes with you guys and see what's going on for today. Shout out to Charles Frankenstein. He shot me a share on Facebook. I want to thank him again for that. I'm sad, reminded me, I'm sitting here looking at a baseball tweet here, and he's excited baseball season is in the air, and we're about to go on that. I'm not a huge baseball fan like I used to be. I grew up baseball, played baseball. Football took over my life in my later years, and but I still keep up with it. I still see who's doing what. I like the Phillies. They're my team. I guess I stay in the Philadelphia. I mean, the Philadelphia fan base, I guess. But, not really a huge baseball fan. But I do keep up with what's going on. That goes for pretty much every sport. I can tell you the top of every position, no matter from football all the way to, golf, tennis, whatever. I know their names. I know what they're doing. Just don't talk about it every day. So it's not football. I'll be talking about all kinds of stuff on this show. I like doing movie reviews. I love going to see movies. So I'll be doing some movie reviews as well. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I haven't bored you too much. Like I said, we're super excited about our show coming up with the guys. I will keep you posted on that. Tomorrow night, Tuesday night is our first post. It's our first shoot. And I'll keep everybody posted on when that's going to come out. And the like button. Hit the subscribe button. You all have a good day. I'm Scott Wilson. This is the Red Zone Faction. And we'll see you tomorrow.